Hey everybody, it's Chris Eads, Wootini from the lamented.net, here with another weekly video podcast. As promised, this week is all No Man's Sky, because it's the new game I started playing, and it's basically all I've been playing. I do want to mention that there's a part of me that wishes I had gotten the downloadable game, like, just downloaded it, just because, it's like Animal Crossing or something, or Rock Band or SingStar. It's something I'm going to go back to a lot, and having to keep swapping the disc in and out when I want to watch a Blu-ray and stuff, it's going to get annoying, I'm afraid. But in general, I prefer to save my hard drive space for games that I'm only going to download. So when there is the option of getting a physical disc, I prefer to get a physical disc. It's just me. But I've been playing it a ton. It's super great. Also, if I'd had the digital version, I probably could have gotten it at like midnight, but then I would have been up till 5 in the morning playing it, which would not have been cool. I did, in fact, take 2 days off work. I took Tuesday off so that I could get up in the morning and go pick it up and then come home and play it. And then I took off Wednesday so I could just play it some more. And I'm super glad I did that, because I literally would just sit there and play it all afternoon. Also, it was like 90 degrees here, so I basically turned on the air conditioning and sat in front of here and just played it. Occasionally I'd be on a super hot planet, melting, and it felt very appropriate. But I personally think, I wish I'd taken off a whole week, because I could have played it all week. But I didn't, so oh well. But then that might have been a little excessive. I don't know. But I love it. I feel like it's exactly what I wanted it to be. I understand why there are people who don't like it, because it seems like people either love it or they don't get it and they just hate it. Like, I don't think people are like, it's okay, you know. People are either into it or they're not. I'm personally very into it, because it's exactly what I feel like they promised. Some people are complaining because they're like, oh, I thought this was a multiplayer game. And I'm like, no, they never said it was going to be a multiplayer game. And in fact, the aloneness of exploring these humongous planets dotted with little bits of alien life here and there, like, the aloneness of it is kind of the point, I feel. Like, that's the mood they're going for. And running into other players on the field would just be annoying. Also, they probably want to kill each other, so, ugh, no. But I got what I wanted, which is, here is a universe full of planets, land on a planet, have a look around, explore it, do what you want. When you get bored, you move on to the next one. Eventually I'll get to the center of the galaxy or the universe or whatever it is I'm trying to do. Don't even care. The goal is kind of incidental right now. Like, I'm not trying to work through. And it's interesting because I have complained in the past that I have trouble finishing sandbox games, like Rockstar games or Elder Scrolls games or something, because they're so wide open that I get bogged down doing the side quests and I lose track of the main story. But I think here it's different, because the main story is simply to go from system to system to system until you reach the center of the galaxy. And that's fine. Like, it's such a nebulous goal that you'll get there eventually as you're exploring. So I don't really necessarily feel like there's a story. Although as I'm going through these planets and learning about the lore of the different alien races, there's 3 main alien races that you encounter, and you learn their backstories and history as you learn their languages. And you're kind of learning about each race. But I'm obsessed with it, because you're on a planet and you find like a shelter, and then you're like, oh, what's that over there? Oh, it's a monument, let me learn some alien lore. Oh, what's over here? Oh, it's a spaceport. Oh, what's over here? Oh, it's a downed spaceship, let me explore it, you know. Like, there's always something else to see just over that hill, you know, and that keeps you playing. It keeps me playing, anyway. But I get why people are kind of bored, because they're just sort of like, all I'm doing is walking around an empty planet shooting rocks. Because yes, the inventory management is a little irritating. I will give them that. Inventory is very limited, your slots, and your weapon and your spaceship and your spacesuit all require materials to fuel them, and you're constantly having to refuel. The only one that's annoying is the spaceship, because the plutonium to power your thrusters to lift off and fly to your next location, you go through that really fast. Luckily, there's lots of plutonium everywhere. Except on this one planet where, like, I felt like I couldn't find it anywhere, and I explored a little bit, and then I was like, you know what, I'm getting out of here because I don't want to get stranded with no plutonium, because that's going to suck. So I left it behind. But that's what I like about the game, is that you land on a planet, and you don't like it, or it's going to be too hard to explore, because it's, you know, too hot, too cold, too radioactive, there's no plutonium. You can just leave. Nothing is required, which I love. And it also seems, I don't know, because I am playing the game as I'm playing it, as an explorer, and like, I'm obsessed with going there and learning the alien languages. That's what I want to do. That seems to be that's my goal in the game, is to, like, learn as many alien words as I can. That's how I'm playing it. Other people, I know a couple of my friends who are playing it, and they're, like, killing all the sentinels, because on the planet's surface, if you mine too much or if you kill animals, the sentinels are these little robot things that come and attack you. They're like a alien police force kind of thing. And the flying ones are okay, but if you go too far, they'll send out these, like, robot dog things, and they've always killed me, so I don't know if they send anything above that. But I try to avoid them when I can, because sometimes there's these buildings that have steel doors that you have to break through with your laser gun, and doing that causes the sentinels to appear. So I've had to kill a few sentinels because they were attacking me for that, but after a couple of those, I realized that as long as I keep focusing on the door, I can take a few hits, and then get inside, activate the observatory, and they'll stop. So I kind of found a way around having to kill them. The other one, there was a planet that had these like pinkish-purple balls on the ground that were spiky, and if you got too close to them, they would stab you and hurt you. But if you shot one, you'd get a venom sac, which actually sold for a good amount of money. The problem is that shooting one of those and getting that venom sac immediately gave you a 3-star wanted rating, and you'd get 2 flying sentinels and 1 dog sentinel that immediately started attacking you. And I'm like, this isn't worth it. But what I discovered is, if I shot one of those and then jump, like, right next to my spaceship, because they were everywhere, shoot one next to my spaceship, jump in my spaceship and fly off, I avoid the sentinels, they give up on me, because I've flown away, and then I can sell the venom sacs for a good amount of money. Because you need money. I keep wanting to upgrade my spaceship, because my spaceship has, like, no storage space, so I'd like to get a new spaceship, but all the ones that have lots of storage space that I found are, like, crazy expensive. So I have to save my pennies now, because I have been wasting all my units on expanding my suit inventory. So now I have, like, tons of slots in my suit, so as I'm walking around I can collect lots of elements and lots of treasures and whatever. But my ship can't hold anything at all. So I need to equal that out a little. And you can't add slots to your ship the way you can just add an extra slot to your suit. You have to get a whole new ship that has more storage in it. So I need to find a good cargo ship that has lots of storage. But that costs like 2 million credits, and I don't even have 1 million. So I should have stuck around on that poison planet and shot more of those venom sacs, but I've moved on since then. But I love the fact that you seem to be able to play it the way you'd like. I'm playing it as a peaceful person just trying to explore and not trying to get into any trouble, and I just want to discover all the alien plants, all the alien life forms, and all the alien languages. And then I have other friends who are like, I'm trying to get a ton of money, and I'm killing all the sentinels, and it's super awesome. And I know they've said that you can play the game without really going to the planet's surface, but I suck at space combat, so I would never consider such a thing. That's insane to me. But I can see how it would be possible, because a few times I've been attacked by space pirates, and one of them, they did kill me, because I tried to fight back. Now I just try to run away, and I've been able to get away the other 2 times. But the first time I tried to fight back, and I was killed, and it's super annoying. But I can see where you could like shoot down other space pirates. There's giant starships you could attack, and like I can see how you'd be able to do that, and you'd get the rewards of their cargo when you destroy a spaceship, and then that would be what you would use. Instead of mining it yourself, you would just steal what other people had. And I could see where that would be a slightly more action-packed way to play the game. And like my friends who are killing the Sentinels, it's more action-y, you know, whereas I'm perfectly content to avoid combat whenever possible and just explore and discover. And like I said, it's not required, so whenever you're on a planet, if you don't like that planet or you get bored with the planet, you move on to the next one. It's that simple. And so I'm having an absolute blast exploring the universe, discovering bizarre alien life forms, and I can see also where you might get bored of it after a while, because so far I've seen some repetitiveness in like planet surfaces and with some alien life forms looking very similar to each other, but I'm hoping that as you get through the game and you go further and further, they get more and more outrageous, or at least different. Because I can see where it would start to get kind of repetitive and a little bit like meh. But I feel like at that point, if it starts to get repetitive and you don't want to be exploring anymore, you don't have to, and you can just basically go gather what you need to jump to the next system, to gather what you need to jump to the next system, and then eventually get to the center of the universe and the end of the game. But I could also feel like this is going to be like one of those games where every so often I'm just going to be like, I feel like exploring the universe, and I'll sit down and I'll just put it back in and I'll just explore a planet or something, because I find it very soothing and relaxing. It's just very zen. The music is very zen, soothing music, and you just explore and see what you can find, and there's always something new to find. I have a hard time recommending it to people because I know there are people who are like, this is really boring. So it is kind of an acquired taste, I think, but it's my taste exactly. So thank you, Hello Games, for creating No Man's Sky. It's the game that made me decide I should get a PlayStation 4 because I'm going to want to play that when it comes out, and totally worth the purchase. The other PlayStation 4 games that I've played, I've also enjoyed, but I'm just saying, like, even if I only ever played No Man's Sky, I think it would kind of be worth it. So, come back next week, and hopefully I'll have something more to talk about. Oh, I will. I just realized. I think that Style Savvy will be out by then, so I won't just be talking about my adventures in No Man's Sky. I'll talk about my adventures in hairstyling and whatever. See you then. Bye!